Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Friday, June 23rd, 2023. You know, I thought I was going to twist on that the whole opening, right? I thought, in my head, I just kept thinking, but it didn't happen. I'd like to thank you guys for subscribing. That's one way to support this project. And those that are subscribed, click that bell, of course, because I'm going to be trying to start this car live. You'll see if everything that I have done up to this point works. It's Friday. What kind of things could I do? You know, I'm getting old. One of the funniest thoughts that I have is that I'm going to be the first to go in this household. I mean, that's just one thing I can look forward to. I don't want to be the first one to find somebody, do you? All right, that's enough about being funny, you know? But this is some serious stuff, so this is what I'm going to be doing. This is all the stuff that I'm going to be assembling. As a matter of fact, I'm also going to assemble all of this, the complete oil filter assembly, including the flange and everything. So, let's start this job right here. This is called the oil filter intermediate flange. So I've cleaned this all up and it's ready to go. I've made sure that the sealing rings that were, they get stuck. Make sure that there's no sealing ring. These are the 3 bolts that you'll need, and there's 3 spring washers. And then this little guy, I forget what it's called, it doesn't really matter. Your oil pressure switch, and the tools you're gonna need. 6mm hex, and a short extension I think will do the job. This part number is for sealing this to there. This part number is that. And then to seal the bottom of that, that's that. You'll also need a torque wrench. I love this. This is where they explode it and then show you the torque settings for each and every single thing. Can you believe that? Won't tell us anything about the intake manifold, but you know, little pieces here and there, they'll give it all to you. Here we go. We already know that these 3 bolts right here are going to be torqued at 25 Newton meters. So let's put those aside. I might as well put this aside as well. This. Next we have that. And you can see here that that is torqued to 55 Newton meters. We have other parts to deal with. That's the stuff we're gonna need. Oil filter, and this comes with everything you need. Your filter, your flange seal for that, your pan seal. Both of these are for your nut on the pan for drain plug. Not the silver one, just the copper. And then I noticed when I went to get it that it's damaged, definitely crushed. Luckily I think I've got 3 more boxes or something of this. I bought a lot of them. But pay attention, make sure that you didn't get ripped off. And then that little silver washer is exactly that. It's a washer, which is this washer right here. All 3 bolts are the same length, so it doesn't matter. So those are where the 3 bolts go. So you have to install these 3 bolts before you put this in, obviously, because you can't tighten that. So this is everything. This is the oil filter housing, and 17mm for this, and a torque wrench capable of 35 Newton meters. I'll start by assembling this part of it. That is the old washer, and this is the new washer. Then this spring, not the flat side, that flat side will go towards your filter. It goes in just like that and right over the top. And you can just push that down. That's it. Now you notice this isn't as clean as everything else I've done. But I didn't want to remove this decal, so I left it like that. Have you guys seen the original oil filters? They're super expensive if you could find one, but they were really made well. I'll tell you, I don't even know why you'd have to change it. Anyway, so the next thing is this. I suggest you put some engine oil on there. That's how I've always done every single car ever. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna take this along with the filter. If you're wondering what that is, that was just because this thing was more heavily weighted, kept doing that, and I wanted to present it nice. That's the only reason that's there. Let's take this over to the engine. All right, so now I'm on the side of the engine, on the right-hand side. So what I've done is I've put the gasket on here, and I have a couple of bolts, this one and that one, and I'll line them up. All right, I've got my torque wrench set to 25 Newton meters, but as I do with everything, I'm gonna start off with 10, 20, or 10, 15, 20, and then I'll do my final 25. So I'm just gonna cut right here and we'll get back to my final torque. And now my last one. 25.2. And that's what they all were, actually. Well, it looks like that there needs to be tightened to 55 Newton meters. I forgot to mention, you'll need a 32 millimeter socket, kind of a deep dish socket, so you can go over that. I've got my torque wrench set to 55 Newton meters. Right on the button. Right on the button. I couldn't really record it, you guys, because the problem is the display is down below, and you have to lay on your back. Luckily, I had that camera there that I could set up. It's torqued. Next, I'll install the oil pressure switch. New O-ring, or seal ring, I should say. And a new switch as well. And unfortunately, something else I forgot to tell you. You're gonna need yourself a 17 millimeter. I'm using a little bit of oil, same oil that I'm using in the vehicle, and I've put it on the ring, and I've put it on here and on here. This is the bottom, this is the top. So I'm going to insert this into here. This is what I would recommend that you do, that I'm not going to do right now. I will later. But what I recommend is now, because this has got a seal on it, this actually has a seal on the back side of this. So when you push that in like that, there's a seal, so it won't, it will possibly leak a little bit, but now you want to fill this with oil, right, to protect your engine. Now the hard part, and that's lining it all up. Now I want those beautiful Mercedes-Benz sticking out just like that. I don't know how it came out of the factory, but that's how I'm going to do it. And so when you kind of bring it up here, move it back and forth, make sure you get it, evenly around there. Now, when I start the engine, or, right before, as I'm dropping it in, I'll probably fill this with oil, or maybe even have to wait till it's actually in. and I'll have to do it the hard way, which is, you know, open this up from under the vehicle and fill that. It's a good idea to do that. Some guys don't do it, but I recommend that you do. The torque setting for this is 35 Newton meters. Again, I'm not going to tighten it down to 35 Newton meters because you guys know that I'm going to probably be taking this off. But let's just assume I did. That is the complete installation of the oil filter flange or intermediate flange and filter assembly. All right, here's one for you. Do you like it better, you know, with the logo here on the side, facing, you know, the side? Or do you think that this should be facing the front of the engine? I'll just put out there for debate. Put a comment down there. Tell me what you think. You know, if anybody knows how they actually put it on there when they had it on the assembly line, that'd be cool. You know, all I got to do for now is just to say, thanks again for watching.